All right. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be showing you my proportions and my markings for my finished model for the restorative art class. Okay. If I can go through the slides. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to start with the classic proportions. I used a picture of my fiance's face as well. I know that the proportions aren't going to be all to scale, especially this picture of him because he's looking slightly to the left and up. So that's just kind of how his head is tilted in this picture. But as close as possible, you can kind of see that his face is separated into thirds right here. And that's how I tried to get my model. Like maybe the hairline would be somewhere up here. Of course, this is not to scale, just from the way the picture was taken. But in real life, you could probably tell a little bit better kind of where the actual hairline would be. So maybe somewhere up here, um, right underneath the eyebrows. Eyebrows will probably be right up here. Base of the nose right here, and then the base of the chin down here. Same thing for this picture. The supplemental qualities, they're going to be all like these kind of well, not markings, but where these kind of equal out. Again, this one's kind of angled weird just because of how he's looking up at the TV in this picture. But as best as I could, I kind of tried to line it up kind of how it's supposed to be. This right here, really, the main exception for this would be where where the wings of the nose are because it's a little bit too wide. I tried to make it smaller earlier today. I was working on it and I tried to angle down the wings of the nose more so that it could be smaller and thinner. But that was probably the hardest for me to do, was to make the nose um, like not too big, pretty much. But I kind of tried to do the same thing here, like the lateral corners of the eyes down to the base of the nose, the middle part of the eye down to the line of closure on the mouth, and then around the tip of the eyebrow to the base of the nose as well. And then you've got this one that cuts right down the middle, and this one that cuts right underneath the eyes, and this kind of cuts like about right through the nose. So, okay. And for the rest of these pictures, it's just going to be my model, not Kyler's face. So I just wanted to use him kind of as like a reference for the first two slides. I apologize for this, the little black spots you see on my model, I have overactive sweaty hands. So, like if I rub my hands on like a towel or something, or like some of my clothes, it kind of rubbed off on some of the wax. So if you see a little bit of that on my wax model, I apologize for that in advance. So, my natural facial markings, I marked them all right here. The angulus oris eminence is going to be like right up here above the top of the lip. The angulus oris sulcus going to be right underneath, kind of. Your dimples are going to be right beside your line of closure on the outside. Your labiomental sulcus is going to be underneath. Your nasolabial fold is going to be like probably around where the corner of the nose is. Your nasal sulcus, more towards along the side of that. Your oblique can't talk. Oblique palpebral sulcus is going to be underneath your eye. Your philtrum is going to be right in between the nose and the mouth, and your submental sulcus is going to be where your chin is located. The acquired facial markings, Some of these are going to be markings you kind of get over time as you age. With Kyler, I couldn't really like make any of those markings just because he's still pretty young. He's in his mid-20s. Or no, actually, no, he's almost 30 now. But anyway, he hasn't really acquired some of these markings yet. Like, he doesn't really have any wrinkles or anything. So some of that is going to be like hard to show on the model. But for the sake of labeling this photo, I tried to mark where they would probably be on someone who is older. Your buccofacial sulcus is going to be along your cheek. The cords of the neck, again, for this model, we didn't really work on the neck, but it would probably be, right along the middle of where your neck is. Your inferior palpebral sulcus, that's going to be underneath your eye. Interciliary sulci, that's going to be up here in like the corners of your eyes, the top corners. Your labial sulci, that is going to be underneath your bottom lip. Your mandibular sulci is going to be kind of along the sides of the chin, so it'd be along here. Your nasolabial sulci is going to be kind of in between your nose and your mouth a little bit, but more lateral, so more towards the sides. Your optic facial sulci is going to be out along the corners of the eyes. Your platysmal sulci, again, you can't really show that on the model since we only worked on the face, but that would kind of be like the sides of the neck. And your superior palpebral sulcus, that's going to be the top lateral corners of the eyes. And then your transverse frontal sulci is going to be more towards the forehead, slightly lateral above the eyes. The ears, what's going to be on this ear is also going to apply to the other ear. This one is the right ear. I decided to use this picture because I thought my right ear looked a little bit better than my left ear. Your antihelix, that's going to be this big part right here that kind of cuts through. Your antitragus, that is going to be this hump right here. Your concha, going to be right there, right smack in the middle almost. Your crura, that's going to be these two humps right here along the top portion of the ear. The crus is going to be kind of this triangular portion that cuts through here. Your external auditory meatus, that's going to be like the inside of your ear. Your helix, that's going to be this big arch right here. Your intertragic notch is going to be right here. The lobe, we all know what that is. That kind of hangs from the bottom of your ear, so that's this whole area right there. Your scapha is going to be kind of this top corner along your helix. Your tragus is going to be on this arch right here, closer to your face, and then the triangular fossa, it's called that because it's kind of shaped like a triangle. So that's that little groove right there. And again, whatever's on this ear is also going to apply to the other ear. And the eyes, same thing. Whatever's on one is also going to be on the other. I kind of liked this eye picture a little bit better than the other, so I used the left eye instead of the right. Your cilia and your supercilium, they're not going to be, for this video, they're not going to be on here on this model. I didn't have any fake hair to work with for this, so they're not going to be on my model. Your cilia, that's going to be your eyelashes, but just for the sake of labeling, I would have put them, like they would connect here where the line of closure is, and then they would, stretch out to the eyelashes. Your inferior palpebra, that is going to be this corner right here. Your inner canthus, right towards the nose on the corner there. Your line of closure, obviously right here, which separates the lids. Your nasoorbital fossa is going to be this little space right here between the nose and the eye. Your orbital pouch, that's kind of where you see like the bags of the eyes. So it's going to be that area. Again, supercilium, that's going to be like your eyebrows. So it would generally be like up here, but again, not on the model. So your superior palpebra, that is going to be along this lateral corner. And then your supraorbital area, it's going to be like this whole top part of your eyes. And whatever's on this eye also applies to the other eye. The mouth was a little bit easier for me to do. Oh, excuse me. The angulus oris sulcus, that's going to be the outer corner where your dimples are. Your hunter's bow, that is this whole arch right here. I just labeled that with 2 right there, just to show the middle of it where you see that arch with the 2 humps. Your inferior integumentary lip, that's going to be the bottom area over here. Your labiomental sulcus is going to be a little bit lower than that. It's kind of this area of where the end of the lip comes. Your line of closure, obviously this whole line right here where your lips come together. And your lips are mucous membranes, top lip, bottom lip. Medial lobe is going to be right on top of your superior lip right here. It would be like right in the middle. The mental eminence, that's going to be underneath the bottom lip, this right here. Your philtrum, and we discussed that earlier, right in between your nose and your mouth, so this area right there. And then your superior integumentary lip, the space above the top lip, right up here, probably over there too. And the nose, again, it's not really the best because I tried to fix it up a little bit, try to make it a little bit smaller and thinner, but it's not, it didn't really show up exactly where I wanted it to be, but I did the best I could, and it wasn't too bad for my first model. But your anterior nares, they're going to be like the bottoms right here of the nose. Your columella or your columna nasi, that's going to be, it's kind of this whole arch right here that's underneath the bottom part of your nose. Your dorsum, that's going to be the sides. Your nasal ala are going to be your wings. So, and they kind of stretch out over here. I made mine a little bit too big. The nasal bridge, that is this whole, hold on. Yeah, that's about this whole area right up here on the top of your nose. Your nasal sulci, that's going to be kind of the sides of the arches right there. Your nasion, this was a little bit hard for me to find. I couldn't really find it in the book, but it would generally be where the root of your nose is, so it would be like probably up here where your nose starts. Your protruding lobe kind of comes down towards the end right there. The root of your nose, probably about where the nasion is, and then the sides of the nose right there, and then the very tip of the nose, which is going to be right there where it protrudes the furthest. And that's it. There's the finished product. I also did a little bit of smoothing so that way it didn't look like the wax was kind of in patches, I guess. But it's not too bad, not for my first one. I wish the nose was a little bit better, but I did the best I could. Thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed seeing everybody else's models. A lot of them looked a lot better than mine, but I'm glad everybody did a good job on theirs. Thank you.